It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to another episode of the Media Talks show with me, Adebisi Adetunji. And how has life been with you? Okay, just take things easy. Take care of your mental health, take care of your physical health, and just find a balance between your work life, your health, and time to recuperate, to relax and enjoy some me time. It is what it is in the day that we have found ourselves. On this show, we talk about everything media. It is a peer learning session, a veteran learning session. It is all about scaling up, improving as media professionals, whether you are in the traditional media, TV, radio, or the digital media. And every time I bring someone new to the show to have a conversation that we can all glean lessons from and grow in our career. And today we are looking at starting and building a visible, trustworthy news digital media platform. Starting and building a trustworthy news digital media platform. When should you think about starting out on your own, having maybe a news blog as a practitioner, whether as a journalist in the print media or in the broadcast media, TV or radio? Is it something doable? Is it something you can explore? I brought someone who has, taken the bold step to start his own online news media platform and to share a bit of his experience, what is working, what are the ways, what are the challenges, and how he has been able to create visibility and succeed on it as an online news media startup person. Make welcome my guests, Mosope Kehinde.
Thank you so much, Adebisi. Thank you for having me on the show. It's been a show I've been following for a while. And of course, I've been enjoying the conversations on the show. It's been a show that is interesting, it's educative, and sometimes I must say it is entertaining because of the way you handle your program. So thank you for having me. I'm most grateful.
We are so glad, that you are here. Thank you for, making out time to be a part of the show. Mosope Kehinde is an award-winning multimedia journalist with over 18 years experience in journalism, with his educational background as a mass communication graduate. He has served in different capacities as an editor, feature writer, reporter, radio program anchor, covering various beats that includes health, climate change, politics, education, the judiciary, and rural community engagement programs, amongst others. Mosope won the Humanitarian Impact Award from a non-governmental organization while attending trainings on fact-checking, reporting on elections, while he leverages on AI tools to carry out his journalistic, media, and communications work. Mosope has carved a niche for himself because of his commitment to self-development and determination to impact his society positively. He is a core professional in the field of journalism, public relations, and advertisement. He has held positions in different media union and groups. And currently, he is the chairman of Oyo Assembly Correspondents, a group of journalists covering Oyo State House of Assembly. He is also the documentation officer for the Oyo State Media Coalition for SBC Health Communication Team. And I tell you, I've known Mosope for a long while, and I know him to be somebody that is very diligent, a committed person, a passionate journalist about community development, societal changes, impacting the society in such interesting and amazing ways. I want to say welcome again to the program Media Talks show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm most grateful. Thank you.
Now, one thing I've watched, and I like about you is the desire to keep upskilling. I remember there was a time we were having a conversation. We're talking about, I think, graphic design, you know, graphic flyers, graphic design. And you said you were, at the time, a graphics design course. And now in your CV, in your bio that I just read out, I see you have also garnered, skills in AI tools, and you continue to develop yourself. How do you find time to still upskill, taking courses to equip yourself with necessary skills that you require as a journalist? Journalism takes a lot of your time.
I think that in any profession you find yourself, it is important you upgrade yourself. I could remember there was a time that typewriter was the order of the day in most government agencies. When you want to type a document, use typewriter, use a carbon copy at the back, you produce document through that. And at a time, computer system begin to make the trend. And those people that did not really improve in their skill were sometimes forced out of the system because they were not able to cope with the new trend, which is the computer. Some of them decide to upgrade and upskill their knowledge, and they were able to undo computer system at that time. So these are the things that gave me the idea that whatever you do, whatever profession you find yourself, if you are not upgrading yourself, you will be forced to leave a particular system, or you will not be able to move with the trend. So as a journalist, we know something about everything. And of course, knowing something about everything, it gives us a leverage that we should also upskill ourselves. So as a journalist, it's the era of going to an assignment, pressing a recorder. We call it recorder, this old recorder that has cassettes then.
Digital recorder. Even
So
digital recorders are beginning to phase out. Though it is more of
yeah,
Androids and
yes,
very high tech
yes,
or
yes.
assignments.
Because it's more of Android now, because you can do 2 or 3 things at a time with your Android. As you are recording, you can take pictures, you can take videos, you can send your story immediately. So doing 2 or 3 things at a time, so it's part of what we need to do as a journalist, so that you won't be at the back. You won't be at the back. These days, it's not about journalism alone. You have to know some things about graphic design. Journalism is not just reporting. It's image making. It's part of it. When you are even reporting, it is easy for people to get the idea of what you are saying through graphics. So if you can
Yeah.
join these things together, it's a great deal. So these are the things that inspired me to always look out for opportunities to learn within and outside.
Fantastic. I always say upgrade so that you don't become obsolete or outdated. Because when you don't
Obviously, of
upgrade,
course.
you get left behind and you
Yeah.
lose a lot of opportunities. There are so many, people out there doing a lot of what trained journalists are doing. The multimedia journalism has come to take the center stage. And so anyone practicing in the profession, whether as a media or communications professional, and you are not, building your capacity in multimedia usage, you are going to
Mm.
find yourself out of job or out of relevance. So I really, really appreciate the fact that you get to equip yourself from time to time,
Definitely.
taking courses that equips you and puts you in tandem with what is ongoing. And I love that idea about your phone. The Android phone is not just for interviewing and getting the audio. You use it to collect
Mm.
videos, you use it to collect pictures. You can basically use it to edit your story on the spot, and you send it to the
And
studio or to your media organization, and it is on live.
yes, on the spot reportage of events, You are on your Twitter at the same time, telling people what is happening at the moment and all the likes.
So it has come to stay. Okay,
Yes.
let's get right down into our conversation about starting and building a viable online news media platform. You are the founder of News Arena. Let's start with what inspired you to start an online news platform? Even as a journalist who is busy doing the regular covering beats and all of that, what inspired you to start that platform?
Well, thank you, Adebisi. Actually, a lot of things inspired me, but I'll just mention about three of them that actually really inspired me. We've mentioned one of them, self-development. Um, I think that as journalists, we should be able to develop ourselves in any way we know that we should. In any legal way we should develop ourselves. So that's one of the reasons. And another reason is, well, which is of course under self-development, is that I want to have a feel of what is happening in the print media and in the new media. I've been a broadcast journalist for over 16 years. All my life, I've been a broadcast journalist. Um, I've had the experience. I have the experience. I know the nitty gritty of broadcast journalism. But then I want to have a feel of what is happening in the print media. So that is one of the reasons. And okay, what can I do? It's not that I want to get employment with one newspaper or the other so that I'll be able to have an idea. Or it's not that I want to go and do internship in a particular print media. So I decided, okay, let me have a kind of news platform that I will be able to learn on the job as I begin. I'll be able to learn on the job and have a feel of what the writing in broadcasting is different from writing in print. In print,
Yeah.
you use quotes, you use pictures. For every story in the print media must have an headline. So, but in
Yeah.
the broadcasts, not all stories will have an headline. You get. So
Yes.
in the new media, not every in the new media, every story also must have an headline. So that's prompted me that okay, for each story that I write or that comes my way, I must give it an headline. So through that, I was able to get more knowledge about skills in writing headlines.
Wow.
So that is one of the reasons that prompted me. And of course, I want to explore opportunities in tech. In tech, you know, when though you can be a broadcast journalist and say explore opportunity, but it is better when you have your own online media. Um, Through that, I was able to get involved in AI tools, different tools that
Okay.
I will need. Through that, I was able to get involved in graphic design, which of course can even fetch money on its own. You
Mm.
know,
Mm.
I was able to get involved in, computer operations, online courses, you tech generally. So I think I wanted
General.
to explore the world of tech. Or not, of course, again, I wanted to explore uh, different beats. As a media, as a broadcast journalist, you are you are confined to a particular beat that you are assigned to. So, for instance, if I'm assigned to cover judiciary, for example, if
Yes.
I had to write something out of judiciary, it may not fly because that is not my beat.
Not your
So
beat in the organization. Yeah.
yes, that's not my beat. So if I had to write something on health and I'm not assigned to cover the health, it may not fly. And I might have something, you know. So these are the things that these are the things that prompted me to decide to, okay, let me have a small online news platform where I will be able to explore almost all the beats, almost all the sectors of the economy, business, oil and gas, health, you know. It's not that jack of all trade. No, it's not jack of all trade. But at the same time, you have a feel of what is happening in a particular bit. So when you are
In the different sectors.
so lastly, while I was just doing my thing, a friend of mine just contacted me who has been in this who has been a publisher for long. That's what he has been doing since he graduated. He said, you are a professional. We know your experience. We know that you are good. Why can't you just do this? And I said, I've been having it as an, I've been conceiving the idea. And said, and he prompted me, you can do it. We look up to you. He said to me, we look up to you as
Wow.
a professional, as people that
Wow.
we can consult when things happen, when how to write story, how to package, how to do this. And I said, well, I have it in mind, I will do. And he kept on disturbing me until I came up with what I have now.
I love the conversations and some of the things that you listed as sources of inspiration. One, you wanted to, try your hands in print journalism. You wanted to, expand your journalistic ability, your journalistic
Yes.
skills beyond just broadcasting. You wanted to, try your hand and build your capacity in the use of tech, AI tools, and all of that. And then you wanted to expand the types of beats you covered. You wanted to be able to, say something, be able to cover, present reports in various sectors. And I think that's a fantastic thing. And the one I love is the human
Yeah.
aspect of it. Somebody believed in you, somebody that looked up to you, that you probably mentored, that you did not even know you. Sometimes we don't believe in ourselves, we don't think we can do
Of
something. And
course.
somebody,
You
a
are right.
colleague that believes in says you can do this thing, and the person pushed you and you went ahead. That is the gift of
Yes.
human beings, gift of relationship, to our career growth and success.
Mm.
Interesting. Now let's
That's why
go on to say,
we have to surround ourselves with people of like minds, people that can help us grow. And
people that will motivate you
people
to.
like thanks to people like you too.
Okay, we are all encouraging each other. All right. So moving on now. How many years have you been running the News Arena platform online? And how have you been able to sustain regular news updates and content on the platform? Because I tell you, content creation is not a walk in the park, and it's not a task for the weak-minded. How have you been able to sustain visibility content, for the number of years that you have been running the News Arena?
So NewsArena.ng will be 3 years in about 2 months now. Um,
Oh wow.
Within these 3 years, there are challenges actually, and you just mentioned one of the challenges is that you can't, creating content, publishing consistently. It is not easy, considering the fact that you have probably you are engaged in other things, and you have to, you know, manage your time and the likes. But what has been helping me is passion and commitment. If not because of the passion, in fact, maybe the website might sometimes be dry. And if you're having a dry website that has little or no
No
stories
content.
being content all the time, nobody will want to follow such news platform. So many times what I do is that because of my passion, I always create time to be online. I'm always active online. Through my active engagement on internet, I come across different ideas, and the journalistic skill in you will tell you that this thing, this particular idea must be on your news platform, because if it's not there, that means you are not functioning. You are not doing what you need to do. Your platform is not responsible. For instance, there is issue of Lassa fever. Maybe there are casualties or there are cases of Lassa fever, and it's been running for about 2 days or 24 hours. And for your news platform not to be at the forefront of reporting these cases, as it were, that means that you are not a professional and you are not up to date. So most times, what keeps me going and what keeps the platform running is that the journalistic skill in me always bring out the things that must be the things that people must engage with. Then number two, activeness on the internet expose you to ideas that you should talk about. And of course, there is something I call focus. Every news platform should have a focus, like a vision and a mission. You cannot just be you cannot be a journalist or a publisher that will want to cover everything.
Okay.
No, no, you have to have some specifics.
Your area of
Area
your
of-
niche, the area you want to
yeah,
concentrate on.
yes, area, yes. So for me, I I decided that okay, geographically, I need to have a kind of um a specialized area, you know, a specialized focus. So geographically, I decided that Southwest states
Will
would
be
be
your
my
coverage.
would be my coverage. Southwest states. So it's about 70% of Southwest, 20% of national, and maybe 10% of foreign.
Of
So through
international.
international. So through that, you'll be able to be consistent in what to publish online at all times. So then for beats, I decided that okay, in as much as all the beats are important on a news platform, let me give priority to health, health, politics, climate change, which is of course environment, and education. It's not that we are not covering other bits, but if you have this at the back of your mind that these are the priority, these are the bits that you are giving priority to for coverage, it will help you. So these are the things that have been helping in being consistent in publishing credible news stories or content
Stories online.
online.
Online. Fantastic. So I'm hearing, having determining your area of coverage. In this case, you chose Southwest to be like 70%, national
Yes.
20%, and then 10% international news. And then,
Mm.
of course, you chose specific areas, for your beats, areas of coverage, health, politics, environment, and education. So this will help anyone who wants to start, an online news platform. Now, are you the only one that writes these stories? Are you the only one publishing content on your platform, or do you have a team working with you?
Yes, initially when I started, it's only me. You know, I'll be the publisher, I'll be the editor, I'll be the writer, I'll be the. So it's
I can
about.
imagine.
So it's not easy actually. A lot of people will be, and I was lucky. I was lucky that people always look out for my platform to get the credible information. So I'm
News.
always yes, I'm always striving to you know publish as prompt as possible, because I know that a lot of people, when they hear it outside, when they read it outside, when they read it somewhere else, they want to read it on my platform to confirm if truly that thing really happened. So initially it was only me. I'll be generating content, ideas. I'll be brainstorming within myself, intrapersonal communication, and one or two. I'll be consulting for adverts, consulting for all this and that. But as time goes on, people begin to show interest themselves. People begin to show interest that I want to be part of your team. I want to be part of NewsArena.ng. And I said, okay, fine. About initially, I had students who showed interest, a student from the University of Ibadan and a student from the Polytechnic Ibadan studying mass comm. But at the long run, probably educational pursuits, took their time more, and they had to. But to cut the whole story short, presently I have about 4 to 5 members of my team who has been helping me in
Nice.
generating content. I have one outside Ibadan who is giving me content from Ibarapa zone. Anything from Ibarapa zone, he gets in touch and we know how to,
In your state.
send. Yes. Within Ibadan, I have some of my team members who also contribute in one way or the other towards the success of the platform. So for now, I think the pressure is getting a bit lower. Because I now have assistants in some way or the other. So that is it.
To support you. Nice,
Yeah.
fantastic. They say start first. Don't wait for
Mm,
something to be
mm,
perfect. You start
mm,
first, and then
mm.
you see it grow. So you gave it all you had to give it. You gave it all your time. It was a lot, but look where you are now. It's a bit more comfortable, and
Yes.
you have team members. You have people showing interest. All
Mhm.
right. I want us to talk about how how do you sustain being online. These things cost money. As much as we are trying to, it's not just all about you putting pen to paper. This thing will cost you money. So how have you been able to sustain your platform? And for anyone that wants to start a news platform, online news platform in the digital space, what should they be looking at? How should they prepare themselves? What should they plan, how to prepare and what to do to achieve this?
Let me start by saying that when I was starting, one thing that has helped me and still helping me is mentorship. Mentorship. The guy I mentioned the other time, Ibrahim Akindele Olore, that prompted me, that pushed me, that encouraged me, was one of the factors that sustained the platform. That's why I will advise that if anybody is starting this news platform, digital news platform, must have a mentor. This guy has passed through stages during his while he was doing his things. By the time he was talking to me, by the time he was encouraging me, I think his online media has been about 3 years or 4 years then.
Oh,
So
okay.
he
He
has
had an
passed,
online. Yeah.
yes, he has passed through the hurdles. He has passed through the challenges and the likes. So when I came on board, it made it very easy for me. When I want to do anything, anytime I want to do anything, I call him and he said, no, 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 do it this way. Do it this way. He would tell me, okay, get this thing, get this thing. He was the first person that introduced me to AI tools. I
Oh,
wasn't
nice.
aware about AI tools, but he has been using it and he taught me how to use about two of the tools for mine. So he told me the things I would get. He told me how to be consistent. He told me a lot of things. And anytime I want to face a particular challenge, I call on him and he gives me guidelines. So mentorship is very important. What would have taken me about maybe 2 years to achieve, it took me
Mm.
about it took me about 2 months. Sincerely, it
Oh,
took me
wow.
about
Wow.
within 2 months of
Because
the
you had a
establishment.
mentor who was showing
Yeah,
you the way.
yes. Within 2 months of establishing NewsArena.ng, it's as if that I made posters, I made billboards everywhere in Ibadan, because this guy linked me up. He linked me up and he showed me what to do. So News Arena was everywhere within 2 months. I was able to get
Oh, wow.
Google Google AdSense within 2 months
Oh,
by the
oh.
help, by the guidelines and the tutelage of this guy. I was able to get. So normally, if I don't have a mentor, if I don't have somebody like that, it might take me about 1 year before getting that Google AdSense.
It will have taken you a long while before you even figured that you needed Google AdSense.
Yeah, yeah, exactly my point. Because I wouldn't know what's next to do at that time. So within 2 months, I got the Google AdSense. It linked me up with a lot of people and the like. So within that 2 months, it's became very easy for me to get data, get money to get data. You know, it was easy, a bit of easy to get
So you were
content.
so were you getting adverts, enough adverts to run the platform? You know, you will pay for the website you are hosting your news content, and then of course you need a lot of data because it's online, and
Mm.
then probably at least something to encourage yourself and pay yourself. So are you making like something reasonably enough to sustain the cost of running the platform?
Well, initially, I wasn't making enough to for the running of the platform. Initially, I wasn't, because the new platform, I had to get a lot of tools and the likes, and what is coming in wasn't that enough. Even the Google AdSense I was talking about was coming in very, very low, because the traffic on your website will
Wasn't high
determine.
enough yet.
Yes. So that time I was actually hopeful that one day we'll get there. And that encouraged me to get, full resources together to continue the operation. Paying for the website is huge. It's huge, I must tell you.
I know, right?
Because
I know. I,
it,
I I run a website too, so I know.
you get. So it goes with dollar rate and the likes. So, but I wasn't discouraged. Because I know that as time goes on, I'll be getting adverts and the likes. So basically, initially, it wasn't easy. Even sometimes now, even as we are talking three, uh, getting data, it's killing. Getting data to run.
Yes,
You have to be
especially with
online.
the high tariff now. I mean, all of
Yes.
us, we are all in
It's
it.
a challenge. It's a challenge. It is a challenge, actually. It's a challenge. But then we need to do what we need to do. It is what it is. Sure, you get. So we have to keep pushing. We have to keep encouraging ourselves. And some people who work with me, I will have to give them stipend, data for data and the
Yeah, if
likes.
somebody writes for you, yeah.
Yes, you encourage such person. So getting one of the major challenge is staying online active with buying data. You have to download videos, upload videos, download pictures, upload pictures, and it's not all the time that we get adverts. In fact, most times you don't get, except from Google adverts. It's just once in a while. Maybe there is politics in town, and politicians want to advertise themselves on on the platform. So that is when we get adverts on the
But
platform.
things are a lot better than when you started. The earnings,
Of
I mean, some
course,
of the remuneration you get
of course,
is a far cry from when you first started. I believe.
of course. I know better. I get better, and then now I've been able to stabilize, budget give a particular budget per month for data for the running of the website. There's budget for exigencies. There's budget for these are the things that anybody running a website should do. There should be
Mm.
budget every month. And you that you are running it, as you should also have a budget for yourself
Yes, to take
because
care of yourself. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
to take care of yourself. You need to have a budget for yourself, budget for the running of the platform. So things are better actually than those times that we started. When you just start to be somehow. But now we now have planning, and with what we have, what is coming in, we'll be able to plan and schedule what we need to do. And of course, it's a business. We should not spend recklessly. You know, what we cannot afford
So
to.
you budget whatever is coming in for
Mm,
running costs, for settling the writers and yourself. So you
yes,
budget. You don't just spend
yes,
anyhow and then think
no.
that there will be rainfall in the next the next advert. So the more you make, the more you should invest in what you are doing to keep
Yes,
expanding. I love
yeah,
you've said so much about whoever needs to start this. If you didn't take the first step, now this is an extra stream of income for you. Apart from your salary, this is
yes,
an extra stream of income for you. And the more
yes,
it expands, and the more the website, the news platform expands and increases engagement and audience and following, the more you are able to impact society more with your
yeah,
content.
yeah,
Love the fact that you talked about credibility. So it's not just
yeah,
about having a news platform of out
mm,
there and throwing junks, because we have see a lot of news platform where people are just putting out unverified information and just things that can cause problem in the society because they want to trend. So it's important
mm,
you're also credible, because I heard you say because you are credible, when they see a news somewhere, they come to check your website. And I think that
yeah.
comes with the Radio Nigeria training. Radio
Ah,
Nigeria trains you to be
you are,
professional.
you are
Professionalism
right. You are right.
is the watchword. So
Yeah,
as we wrap up,
yeah.
what will you want to say to people running online news platform as we wrap up this? What will you want to someone that wants to do it? You've already said a lot. And what will you say to those running it in terms of the practices, the ethics? Okay.
Yes, I'm happy that you mentioned the practices and the ethics. Number one, I strongly recommend whoever that wants to start a news platform, a digital news platform, to be a trained journalist. Either you are a mass communication graduate or student, or you have passed through a particular aspect of mass communication, public relation, advertising, and the rest. You must be a certified journalist. Um, we discover that some people will just wake up one day and start a blog, and they now believe that they have the control of the space. And through that, a lot of stories, unverified stories, go on air. Misinformation, disinformation, they don't fact check stories. Initially, when I started, I had a bit of a taste of something like that. Um, when I just start and somebody just gave me, let me paint a scenario. Somebody gave me a story that that he said that Jonathan is dead. Jonathan is dead. He said that, and in the story, it wasn't actually the former president, President Goodluck Jonathan. It was another Jonathan entirely, unpopular Jonathan
Wow.
entirely. So,
Wow.
so the person was encouraging me that it will bring traffic if I publish such story that Jonathan is dead as the headline. And I was like, no, 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 no.
That's
Uh,
unethical.
It's unethical. It's not bringing credibility to my platform. When next they see an headline, they will say that they will say to themselves that that's how Busheman Sheni. It's just
Mm.
the person just want us
It's
to
not
open the link.
serious.
It's not serious.
Mm.
I said so, but for somebody that is not trained, will go ahead, and of course, it will bring traffic at that time. But how do you want to sustain such idea?
Mm-mm.
So I
Yeah.
strongly recommend that such people should be anyone that wants to go into this must be a trained journalist. Um, the ethics of the profession, balance, not being biased, should be given priority. If you publish a story about a particular section of society, make sure that you also balance it. I've noticed that um, especially in the political sphere, people, some actually publish for a particular group of people. Another set of people publish for a particular group of people. They now
So
have
everybody is on two sides when you are
is on
supposed to be professionals.
you
Yeah.
get. But then I think it should not be so. If you publish for this, you should be able to publish for the next or other groups. So we should not be biased in our reportage. Such person should know that he or she should not be biased in his reportage. Um, Such person should be a journalist, a trained journalist. But in the case that you are not a trained journalist and you are interested, go for trainings. I recommend
Yeah.
trainings. Go for trainings. Look for training that can help you, you know, on your pursuit, on as you desire to go ahead in that um in that area. Then networking is very important for anybody that wants to, go into this. You have to network. You can't be everywhere. You can't in fact there are some things that it is through your friend, a colleague, that you'll be able to get the idea and what you need to do. I have cases of people who have introduced courses abroad because of the network that they have. So networking, you can't do it all alone. Look
Yes.
for like minds that you can network with. And of course, don't let it get to your head that you are a publisher, that you can just publish anything. Some people, because they know that I'm a publisher, I have direct access to my space and I can publish anything. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to follow the ethics of the profession, the guidelines, the omoluabi.
You have to be accountable.
You have to be accountable. Then the legal perspective, yes, I must talk about this. Anyone that has to go, that has to flag or establish a news platform must be conscious of the legal aspect of reporting, defamation of character, sedition, libel, invasion of privacy, contempt of court, and other ethics. You have to put into consideration because a lot of people will put you in trouble. A lot of people will put you in trouble by the stories or the content they send to you. If you are not
Mm.
conversant with these laws, you will run yourself into trouble. So many times, what I advise is even for some of us that are on the field, that are publishers, if you have a story that is court story, verify very well, verify. If you get the story from content from somewhere, give credit to the source so that they know that you get this
Yes.
the content from somewhere. Um, plagiarism, all those things. If you know that somebody give you a content to publish and you are not satisfied with it, please don't go ahead or verify or tell the person that send the content because sometimes you get contents that are paid for. Okay, publish this for me and I will pay for it. If it is something that can put you in trouble, please don't go ahead.
Look away from the money before you enter into Bege and you
Yeah,
enter court and you'll be
Ah,
charged there for defamation of character. Come and pay XYZ million. You're on your
because of how much. So these are the things
own.
that
Okay.
for now, I think I will have to round up because of time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love what you said. That legal aspect is very, very important. And a lot of times people just run off with stories out of excitement, out of the little money that comes in with a story, without looking at the ethics of the profession, without looking at balancing credibility and all of that. And I want to thank you so much for sharing. I mean, this is a whole class, so maybe we should
Of
bring you
course,
back for for a class on
of course.
establishing news outlets. We'll think about that. So thank you so much,
Yeah,
Mosope Kehinde, for coming to the show,
my
Media
pleasure.
Talks series with me. I have learned a lot. I have been able to glean. You saw me writing. I've learned a lot about
Yes, yes,
running a news platform online. I've learned a lot, and I believe that those who have watched and listened to us would have been able to glean a thing or two. So thank you again for coming on the program.
my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And so this is where we call it a wrap on this episode of the Media Talks Show series. Like I always say, I am rooting for you. We are going to the top together. Keep being your best, keep doing your best, and beyond the sky will be your limit. Your career development, personal growth is all in your hands. Run ahead. Remember to network. Remember to have a mentor. Remember to try new things. And remember the rules, the ethics of the profession. Let's not be contributing to the disinformation and the misinformation that is out there. And if you need training, please get trained. There's no pride in that. Nobody knows it all. We are all getting, I am learning every day. I'm getting trainings every now and then because there is always something new in the profession. So there's not like you are doing like this for yourself, like you have not arrived. We must keep submitting ourselves to trainings for the changing seasons and changing times in the profession. Thank you again for joining. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.